Hi guys, Spink here. This is episode 19 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. Last episode where we left off, I was doing that moon mission to recover the science from the temperature scan things, and I did actually was surprisingly successful in that. And I got most of it all picked up after I figured out what I was doing. And I did also notice in the previous video, the first time I passed over one of those and thought I missed it, I actually had done it correctly, so that's rather humorous. Anyway, there was just a handful of these left, and in some of my my dinking with mods and stuff, I somehow managed to have all of my contracts go away, so those are all gone now. I'm not sure if it shows anything in the completed contracts or not. I had to actually restore my contracts from a previous save that I had stashed off somewhere. Another thing I learned is that the color of these, you know, the temperature ones had lighter blue and darker blue. The color basically just tells you which sites belong to which contract. All of the sites belonging to the same contract will go to the same will be the same color. You can tell the moon satellite array is starting to come apart here. I'm going to have to redo this, bring these guys out farther, which means more batteries. We have, I don't think we got fuse, yeah, we can't do fuse box from out here, but let's grab one of these for example. I need to bring these way out to, say, you know, 500 or 1,000 kilometers out. And if we look at this with the moon, if we pick, say, 1,000 kilometers, that's going to be 28 minutes of dark that we're going to have to be able to have power all through. 22 minutes at 500. So I'm going to have to redesign my satellites to have more power, and rebuild that. From a mod perspective, I've done some changing out of the mods just a bit. Let's see. I have removed this K2 command pod and the calendar. Not because there's anything wrong with them. They're both fine. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. The calendar one, I just wasn't using it, so I pulled that out. And then the command pod, I got to thinking, it's kind of as a play balance factor. You know, it allowed me to bring an extra astronaut along and build up his experience points for basically free. So that's probably the reason they don't actually have a two-man pod in the game itself. So I decided that was kind of gimmicky. I was kind of gaming the system a bit to gain some experience for guys that really shouldn't be before I get that 3-man capsule. So I've taken those two out, and I was going to take this life support mod out for the simple reason that, let me show you here. I was getting ready to, so what I was saying, sorry, I had a little interruption there, is this life support mod. So I was looking at building up putting together a flight to the moon, and the life support that comes with this are these gigantic tanks. You know, that's the smallest one. That's the smallest one there is, and I believe there's another one that's even bigger. Yeah, this one here, this is, you know, the next bigger size up even. And they have just huge amounts of life support in them. But just for a simple little trip to the moon, you know, it's not really, you know, I'd have to have 2 of them on here to balance the thing. And, them on here to balance it out, and that gives me, oh, what is this, like a month's worth, 2 months worth of life support. So I thought, well, it kind of looks a bit hokey. So I was looking at the other life support one, the TAC life support, and it's just got so many things. It's got oxygen and food and water and carbon dioxide and waste and all of that stuff. And I thought that's just more involved than I want to mess with. Not so much that all of the different resources, but it just had 8,000 pieces that, you know, cluttered up my my parts list here. So what I did find is there is another mod here that I've got installed called Tweak Scale. And what this does, it lets you change the shape of, or the scale actually, of your parts. So for instance, let's say we had this here, and it adds a little scale menu in here that you can change the size of the parts. Now that's not something I'm probably going to use for the stock parts, because that kind of defeats the purpose of the whole tech tree. I think this is the kind of mod that needs to be used extremely sparingly. But it not only changes the or scales up and down the size of it, the physical size. Let me get this back on here. It also scales the amount of material within it. So this one, say, has 30 life support in it, and if we start knocking it down, now it's down to this and down to there. And to find one that's kind of a reasonable amount, you know, for however length of trip I've gone. I thought for this mod, this tweak scale thing seems entirely appropriate. It doesn't gain me, you know, an advantage in the build tree by having, you know, taking an earlier tech engine and scaling it up, for instance. So I've decided I'm going to use that basically just for things like this, you know, like this life support mod. And I think that's going to give me like what, a total of 10 days maybe life support. Yeah, about 10 days worth. Let's do a just on the simulate real quick. And that simulate system within the construction time mod does have a cost. You have to pay funds in order to use it. But I just want to pull this in real quick just to see what this is saying. So this gives us, say, 10 days of life support, which seems reasonable for a trip to the moon, giving us plenty of leeway here. So, and then we'll just return to here. And one thing about this in the simulation here, nothing that happens is saved. So anything you do, anything you accomplish, any disasters, none of it is permanent. Okay, so my thought here for this episode was that I was going to do a moon mission. We were going to do our first mission, probably in orbit of the moon. But in the interim, while I was setting things up and figuring and making sure everything was just so, I noticed that we had a repair contract that had popped up. So I grabbed that because they don't seem to come up very often. Oh, one more thing, mod-wise. I did add another mod called Contract Window here, and I'll show you that here in just a bit. But what this thing does is when we launch our satellites and we put that little repair panel on them, I believe that's what makes those satellites become eligible to have these repair missions. And it doesn't actually make the satellite dysfunctional in any way. Everything still works just fine. It just gives us this contract pops up. And what we have to do is actually take a part from the we have to add a part to our ship. It's called repair parts, I believe. And we have to rendezvous with the satellite and do an EVA mission where we take the repair parts out of the little canister that we're going to attach to the capsule, and we got to EVA over to the satellite and manipulate that little repair panel and put the repair parts in there, and it's pretty cool. I did an experiment earlier in the simulation mode just so that I can ensure that I know how to work it. So let's see. I think I had a rocket I was building to. Here's my Magpie that I was going to send to the moon. But we can modify this for our little mission here. We don't need the extra life support. I don't think I need all those solar panels either, but I'll just leave them there. And where is, oh, it's in fuel tanks or engines? It's in fuel tanks for whatever reason, presumably because it has to have a quantity of something. Containing 3 repair parts to help your space agency repair satellites. So we can just, let's see, let's get rid of these panels. We don't really need all of that. Let's see, I'll put it right, say right here. And we'll add some ladder parts down the front of this thing. There. And that will be our little EVA perch. Repair panel. Where'd the repair panel go? There's a small repair panel. Getting so many parts here. There it is. Small repair panel. I don't know if there is any difference between the two other than the graphical size. Anyway, so this was going to be my moon lander here, or not lander, but my first go around the moon. It's an asparagus staged rocket, and we don't need this much, so I'm going to take these off and put on just 2 of them. And even this is, you know, way overkill, but there you go. Okay, so I have fuel lines going from the tanks to the center tank here. So what that's going to do is all 3 of these engines are going to pull off of these side tanks first. And so when these things empty and are ejected, we'll still have a full center tank. And you can do that, you know, with as many pairs as you can fit on the thing. So, okay, so I think we have everything we need. We've got, oh, these need to go in here. To do this launch, we're going to have to do a orbital rendezvous, which is not something I'm great at, but I'm good enough to get there. Not necessarily efficiently. What don't have? Do I have anything that I am going to regret not having? I do have a parachute. It's important to have a parachute. We've got that. We got that. Don't need any science. Don't need any antennas. Got that, another interruption. So I think I've got everything on here that I need, so I will get this guy going. Oops, we got to build him, don't we? Build 1 day, so we're doing pretty good on our build times now. I wonder if this is something that I need to have more. It says it only has 1 spare part on there. It said it had held 5. I better take more than one of these just because I have a tendency to screw things up. So let's put 1 on either side of this. Hopefully I don't unbalance this. Well, we don't want to unbalance the thing, so actually, how about, yeah, let's just go with 2, and I'll put it right next to there, and the other one will be a spare in case I screw something up. Okay, so we'll call this repair mission. Save it, and we'll launch that. Simulate. No, we don't want to simulate it. We want to build it. Okay. So while this is doing its thing, this is the contract window mod that I just pulled up here, and it gives us a lot more easier to read. Basically, it's just easier to read than the little window that is on the normal little contract window that we can look at, this one here. And we can sort them by, say, expiration. We can hide particular ones, you know, that we don't want to be showing all the time. Plant a flag on the moon, visual surveys, explore Minmus, explore the moon. You know, we can have them all. We don't want to unhide that one. Repair satellite, yeah. So just much more easier to understand stuff. While this is being built, let me go back here and check this one more time so I can make sure I'm going to do it right. You need the spare parts, launch and intercept, conduct an EVA, then grab some spare parts using CERT. That's the little transfer thing that's part of the, I believe it's mission control. Go to the repair panel and transfer the spare parts to the repair panel. Then open the repair panel and select Test System. Once the system is tested and passes, select Repair. All done. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. We need to do a rollout. Warp to complete. Let's knock this guy down. Just going to do that in the daytime. And the satellite that we need to repair, it appends repair at the end of the name. See, so ComSat LS3, it stuck repair at the end of it. So we know that's the one that we're going to be going after. I guess we're ready to launch. See if I can pull this off. What are we looking at? Half the time spent already. I might not be able to do the whole thing in one episode. We'll have to see. Might have split it up or cut out some parts. But since this is a new rocket, maybe we'll watch me attempt to get this into orbit. Jeb's ready. I did upgrade a lot of the facilities are up to max now. I think I'm getting, as far as the money and the science and stuff, is coming a little easy. So this has turned out to not be quite as hard as I had originally thought. Bring that up a bit. So there's that. Start a bit of a veer, but nothing's real big just yet. Oh, holy cow, what was that? The repair can blew off. So those things, those repair cans, cannot survive the aerodynamic forces. Okay. That is nice to know. Well, let's, we're gonna have to, boy, get some anti-aliasing on. Let's reduce the power here. We're gonna have to abort this mission. This is gonna be an expensive failure. Bring this down. Get him over the water. Somebody doesn't know how to fly. RCS. Oh, I need to get some RCS on this thing too for the orbital rendezvous. Well, I don't have to, but it sure helps. Alright, that's good enough. Gets us out over the water anyway. I guess I didn't have to be over the water. I could have stopped it pretty much anywhere. vertical speed. Drop that. Might as well drop that one too. We don't need anything else. Whoop. Interruption, and I stopped the recording, but I didn't actually stop the I didn't stop the pause the game, so we probably had a bit of a jump there. Okay, so that was a bit of a fiasco. Well, not a fiasco, it was just a whoops. Turn off the, there we go. So we'll get this guy. Let's see if we can do this. Cool clouds. I forgot. I always forget to set my chutes. That should be all right. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so if we can't get those repair thingies up through the atmosphere, then we've got to put them within a shielded fairing. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. I don't know if that procedural fairings mod, I don't know if it has a small sploosh. Yay. Recover. Alright, well, we never get things right the first time. Well, I don't anyway. What did we get here? Operational service for completing at least a single mission as a pilot. A splashdown. Did I lose all my... I lost all of my ribbons. I gotta quit screwing with stuff here, because I keep jacking up all of his... I keep losing all of my progress on stuff. Okay. Back again. We've got, let's see, okay, the same thing here. I've got to put something on here that lets me get a, so I don't think we have a fairing that is small, do we? Fairing base, interstage fairing. I guess we just have these two. Well, I guess it's just going to have to do, isn't it? Alright, so we'll take this off and we'll put this, do I have a small decoupler? Stack decoupler. Alright, is that big? No, that's perfect sized. And we'll use... I have to see what how I want to do this. See, we'll put this fairing base right on top. Whoops. Right there. Can I put this in here? That's kind of silly. Let's put, say this. I don't know if that might have clicked down at the lower node. I guess that's where the node is, isn't it? Down there. And then say we grab the, where did I put them? Leaving them up here. So say we grab 4 of them right here. And then, whoa. Like that? Well, that's slightly poor. Everything pokes out. Whoops. There, that goes up there. That's part of my problem. we can use this offset to bring these in, right? They've still got to be accessible, and also down. And then put this on here. Looks a little silly. Looks a little silly. But it would probably work. And then we would jettison this after we, well, let's real quick here. Let's grab this, take that off. Where are these? What are my, why are these fairings not showing up? They should show up as a thing here. Probably because of this stack decoupler. It's not liking. Whoops. All right. So I'm not sure, that should be showing up as a that should, whoops, taking all my stuff off wrong. That should be showing up as a decoupler kind of thing over there. I've never actually used this base. What if we, oh, did I use the, oh, I used the fuselage one. I didn't, that's my problem. That's my problem. I think that was my problem. Let's go back to aerodynamic. Put that on there. Egg-shaped fairing. There they are, yeah. That was my problem. Alright, so put this back on here. Put that there. Oops. It seemed a little iffy. There we go. Oh, I remember. Well, let's see if we can do that. They should form automatically. There we go. There we go. So here is that. These. This thing. This thing. These. All right. Let's simulate this in orbit. Say it 1000. It's not crude. What do you mean it's not crude? Of course it's crude. Okay. And that was supposed to be in, there we go. Okay, I just wanted to see if the staging does what I had hoped it would do. So we start off with this. Yeah, we've got our engine going. This next stage should be these. Let's throw a nice little rotation in it when we do it. Bing, throw them off. I don't think you need to do that. I think they come off with enough force. So then we can get at this stuff. In fact, let's see if Jibber can come out of here. Oh, it threw him into a spin. Nice. Yeah, so he should be able to get out to these. Open transfer GUI. Yeah, okay, so that'll work. Get him back into the sun so I can see what I'm doing. There we are. And then before we land, we execute this stack decoupler right here. Okay, so that will all work. So that might work, and then we go to here and revert to enter. So that's kind of handy to be able to just test stuff like that. I don't really like the notion of having it on top, though. There is an inline somewhere back in here. Interstage fairing adapter enables side fairings to hold the part at the top. So maybe I'll mess with this and see what that does, and put the repair stage inside here and see what that does. So, but I'm over time now, so I'm going to call this episode to a close, and then I'm going to work on this and get it all figured out in the interim. And then when we come back next episode, this will be ready to go, and we'll run that mission. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.